Hey, what's up, good people? I'm QC. Welcome to this talking and grubbing live stream. Excuse me. And I'm about to grub on some dinner here with these peas and a couple pork chops. These are good. Okay, if you join me in the chat, like the video. Also, come on, join the chat because I'm about to break down both the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals. Philip Johnson, what's up, man? How you doing? Come check Smoking Joe's in Vermilion. Do you have their website, Philip Johnson? Intelligent Cycle, what's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for joining me. And also, the website will be coming soon. It's under construction right now. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, let me dig into one of these pork chops because these definitely like they're good. Now, the NBA's Final Four is all set. We got the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals. Now, the second round, with the exception of the Bucks and the Celtics, the second round was great. The Warriors and Rockets, they treat us to a great series like we all thought they would. Portland and Denver, that was an excellent series. You know, they had a hell of a battle in these 7 games. And Toronto and Philly gave us a great series as well. Game 7 was a classic battle. Went down to the wire. It was everything you wanted in an NBA playoff game. You know, because when Jimmy Butler hit that layup in the final seconds to tie it up at 90, I for sure thought that we were going to go into OT. But Kawhi Leonard, he hit the shot and it got the lucky bounce. It went in. Now Toronto's moved on to face the Bucks, and Philly, they go home for the season. And in a way, I felt for Joel Embiid when he was sitting up on the court crying. I felt for him because you do all and just one bounce, just takes it all away. Oh, you feel that the Bucks? Okay, Intelligence Cycle. You feel that the Bucks and Raptors are gonna go 7? Okay, you feel that Bledsoe's gonna step up as well as Covington. Okay, got your Eastern Conference Finals prediction. What about the West, Intelligence Cycle? Who do you got? Let me get this pork chop, rub on this pork chop a little more. Then I'll get into my preview. Pork chop is so good. Okay, now I'm about to start with the Eastern Conference Finals. It's the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Toronto Raptors. Both teams finished 1-2 in the Eastern Conference during the regular season. The Bucks, they had the best record in the NBA with 60 wins. Toronto had 50 plus wins in the regular season. Giannis Antetokounmpo, aka the Greek Freak, this man has grown up before our eyes in these playoffs. This man is taking no prisoners in the playoffs, especially against the Celtics after the Bucks lost game 1 on their floor. Man, Giannis balled out for 4 straight games against the Celtics, including on the road in the Garden. Let me get a little swig of this watermelon brisk. This thing I don't want to open. All right. Now, Greek Freak had some help. It wasn't just all him. Eric Bledsoe was huge in that series, but an unsolved player that no one has talked about was George Hill. George Hill was very crucial in that series. He came off the bench and was balling, you know, especially in game 3 where he scored 21 points off the bench. Also, you can't forget about, you know, Brook Lopez, excuse me. I've been, you know, watching those Godzilla commercials with Rob Lopez. I got them mixed up. But you definitely can't forget about Brook Lopez. You can't forget about Mirotic. You know, both of those dudes are deadly from 3-point range. You know, he's not just deadly on the outside, he's deadly on the inside too, because he loves to go to the hole. You know? But on the flip side for Toronto, Kawhi Leonard, he's another one who stepped up pretty big in these playoffs. He's had a few 30-point games. Kyle Lowry, he's been up and down in these playoffs. Well, that's a playoff tradition for him. But Siakam, I like him. I also like their bench with Van Fleet, Powell, Danny Green, even though he's not on the bench, he's a starter. But hey, Danny Green could always light it up from 3 at any given time. You know, he and Kawhi were teammates on the Spurs where they won the championship in 2014. And, you know, Marc Gasol, ever since they got him from the Grizzlies at the trade deadline, he stepped up pretty big for the Raptors, especially in the playoffs. You know, I never knew that he was a 3-point shooter like that until he got to Toronto. You know, Serge Ibaka, he's going to bring the energy on the defensive end, blocking shots, rebounding. Excuse me. So this is definitely going to be a great Eastern Conference Finals. You know, you got 2 star players who are both MVP caliber candidates, even though I think Giannis is going to walk away with the MVP this year, you know, since he was the best player on the best team. And that's who most of the time the voters give that award to, the best player on the best team. So definitely think it's going to be Antetokounmpo. And also, both coaches on these teams are very underrated. Mike Budenholzer, that man doesn't get enough credit for what he has done with the Bucks. It's like he took them from a playoff team to now being a contender. You know, he comes from that Greg Popovich school of thought. He was on the San Antonio Spurs bench for a number of years. They pass the ball well. They defend. They're always on a string together. And plus, the Bucks, they're long, lanky, athletic. So they're definitely going to give the Raptors some problems, especially Kawhi, even though he has those long hands. But the Bucks list is definitely going to bother Kawhi. Also, got to give credit to the Raptors coach, Nick Nurse. He's in his first year as a head coach. You know, he's done a pretty good job with the team. He's also had them winning when Kawhi was out in the regular season, especially when they went to Golden State and blew out Golden State without Kawhi. So I definitely think those two coaches should definitely get some Coach of the Year consideration. Let me get a little more of this brisk. Take another swig. There we go. So this definitely is going to be a lit Eastern Conference Finals. I can't wait. You know, I can't wait to see how Giannis is going to do, you know, on this stage, finally trying to get his team to the NBA Finals. Kawhi, he's trying to get back to the NBA Finals ever since 2014. He definitely wants to prove that he can win on his own without, the Spurs, without Pop, without Duncan, Ginobili, Parker. Even though Duncan and Ginobili are retired now, he still wants to prove that he can win with his own team. So this is going to be a battle. It's going to be one hell of a series, but I see the Bucks winning this series in 6 games because it's just not the Greek freak. You got, guys like Bledsoe, Chris Middleton, who I also forgot, to mention, by the way, he stepped up in the Celtics series as well. I think he's going to continue that in this series. I think George Hill's going to continue to step up. I think Mirotic and Lopez, I think they definitely going to be, hitting some daggone key threes in this series. So I got the Bucks in 6 games representing the East in the NBA Finals. All right, now on to the Western Conference Finals. We got the defending champion Golden State Warriors versus the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, the Warriors, they've been pretty up and down in these playoffs so far. I mean, they went 6 games with the Clippers where they lost 2 of them at home. As we all know that they blew that 31-point lead in game 2. And the Clippers came back in game 5 and obliterated them in the Bay. But then they knocked off the Clippers in LA thanks to KD's 50 points. Now, in the second round against the Houston Rockets, the Warriors finally won that series in 6 games. That was a classic series. KD ended up going down in game 5. So nobody knows how long he's going to be out during this series. I think he might come back, say, I'm just making a prediction. Maybe he might come back if there's a game, maybe like a game 5. But in the final 2 games against the Rockets, Steph stepped up and he finally went back to that MVP form, especially in game 6 when they closed them out. He had 0 points in the first half, but he ended up scoring 30 points in the second half and hitting some big shots to knock off the Rockets and advance into the Western Conference Finals. On the flip side, the Portland Trail Blazers, they've been slept on in these playoffs. They knocked off the OKC Thunder in 5 games, thanks to Damian Lillard hitting that hell of a buzzer beater in game 5 and sending them home and waving bye-bye to the Thunder. But then they were in a dogfight with the Denver Nuggets for 7 games. It was back and forth all the way around. Denver won the first game. Portland won game 2. Portland won game 3 in quadruple overtime. Then Denver came back and won game 4. Denver wins game 5. Portland wins game 6. And Sunday afternoon, Portland came back from 17 points down and persevered in game 7 thanks to CJ McCollum scoring 30-plus points. Damian Lillard, he didn't have it going in the first half, but he balled out of control in the second half, hitting some key shots, and he was under 20 points in game 7. But also, the bench stepped up for the Trailblazers. Guys, and not just in game 7, but throughout the whole series, guys like Amin, Evan Turner, as well as Rodney Hood. He hit some big shots for him in that series. Let me grab on these peas a little bit more. Oh, and also, another player I forgot to mention, Steph's little brother, Steph Curry. He was even vital for Portland in this series. He hit some shots as well as played some pretty good defense during his time on the floor. And in the series against Denver. So, those guys, the other guys, are definitely going to be vital for Portland if they want to win this series. They have to keep that momentum that they gained from the second round series against the Nuggets into this series. Rodney Hood now has established himself as a threat off the bench, as well as Evan Turner, as well as Amin, Mo Harkless. Forgot to mention him. All those guys are definitely going to be vital because that's where they have the advantage in this series is the bench. Golden State's bench is very thin. It's not the same bench as it was in 2015 when they won the championship, or even 2016 when they won 73 games. So if they really want to take down the Warriors, that's where they're going to have to do it. It's going to have to be with their bench. Let me take a little swig of this watermelon some more. Now, even though the Warriors do have a thin bench, there's going to have to be some guys off that bench that's going to have to step up, especially if KD is still out for this whole series. You're going to have cats like Kevin Looney, Drefko, the veteran, even Andrew Bogut, even though he's a little bit older now, he's not the same that he was 4 or 5 years ago. He can still give you some minutes off the bench by giving you some rebounds and maybe scoring you a few points here and there. And also, both these teams are well coached. Everybody knows what Steve Kerr, coach of the Warriors. He's won 3 championships within a 5-year period. Terry Stotts is not a slouch either when it comes to coaching. I mean, this man gets slept on as far as NBA head coaches. I don't think Terry Stotts gets his just due as a head coach, but Terry Stotts is a pretty good coach. I mean, just about ever since he's taken over in Portland, they've been in the playoffs every year. Most of the time they've gotten at least to the second round, and now he's led them here to the Western Conference Finals. So, and he also made some hell of adjustments in that Game 7 by playing most of his bench in that fourth quarter, along with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. That was one hell of a move. So this is going to be one great Western Conference Finals. I can't wait. You got, some star power, as well as you got sibling rivalry here with Steph and Seth. Little brother's going to try to take down big brother to advance to the NBA Finals. You got well-coached teams, and who knows the status of Kevin Durant in this series. Like I said, maybe he might come back in this series. Maybe he doesn't come back. Who knows? Now, well, I'm not going to get to the prediction yet. But, I got a question for anybody that's in this chat. If you were the Currys, and you got Steph and Seth going against each other, which kid would you root for in this Western Conference Finals? I want to know. Which kid would you root for? With one parent, would you root for Steph and your wife or your husband would root for Seth? Or would you just root for both of them? Just like get some special jerseys made, like one side has Golden State colors and the other side has Portland colors. Like one side has Steph's number and the other side has Seth's number. That would be hard for me if I was, Dell Curry. That would be very hard for me. And also, now we all know what's been going on with Ayesha Curry's comments, where she said that she wished she could get more attention from men recently. And I'm going to do a video on that. So I've been wanting to do a video on that, but I just been busy. So look out for that video. That's coming very soon. But if I were the Portland Trailblazers, if I were the DJ for the Motor Center, which is the Blazers' home arena, I would play Ayesha just about every time. Ayesha by Another Bad Creation just about every time out, or at least starting the game when they come out on the floor. You know, if y'all don't know that song, that's a song from the 90s. Like I said, it's by Another Bad Creation. Look it up if you don't know that song. You have to be a true 90s R&B hip hop fan to know that song. Oh man. So now my prediction on this series. I've gone back and forth on it. And I know a lot of people just look at it on paper and say, you know, oh, maybe they can get a game. You only could get a game, but I got too much respect for Portland for that. You know, if anybody still thinks Portland's a bunch of scrubs, they're not. They're not a scrub team. They're just not a two-star team. This is a pretty good team, okay? You don't get to the Western Conference Finals just being freaking mediocre, okay? And also, as I just said, this is a well-coached team. You know, Terry Stotts has done an amazing job ever since he's taken over the job. So I don't think so anybody looks at this matchup and think this is just gonna be a easy ground for the Warriors, you're sadly mistaken, because a lot of people thought that with the Clippers. A lot of people just thought that, you know, that, oh, they're either gonna get a game or they're gonna get swept. But they proved to everybody that you know, that they had the heart and the desire. Then they showed everybody that they could compete with Golden State. Even though that they weren't the most talented team on the floor, they still showed that they could still compete. TC, my brother, what's up? Okay, you picking Trailblazers and Bucks to be in the NBA Finals. Okay, TC, why do you think the Blazers will upset the Warriors? Oh, and also Intelligent Psycho, he picks Warriors to win in 6 games. They'll be ready and battle tested, while Blazers defensively will have trouble containing Durant. Intelligent Psycho, man, Durant's not going to play in this series just yet. We don't know when he's coming back, but at least for the first 2 games, Durant is not playing. At least for the first, I say 4 games, Durant is not playing. Okay, TC said, you say, I believe they are hungry. Okay. That could be an advantage for Portland. That could be an advantage. But yeah, as I was saying, you know, the Clippers, even though they weren't as talented as the Warriors, they still know that they belonged. They proved to everybody that they belonged out there with the Warriors. And I think this Portland team has definitely proved that they belong, you know, with the run they had. So this is not so don't just look at it, well, the Warriors got all of these all-stars and just Portland's going to be around and they just a bunch of scrubs. No. You know? Yeah, you know, a lot of people just look at the teams that are just high, you know, just popular and high, and don't look at the other teams. I ain't saying that to anybody in this chat, but I'm just saying there's just some people out there who think with that mentality. But I do think that this is gonna be one hell of a series, and you know, this is not gonna just be a quick series. So buckle in. So y'all need to buckle up. This is gonna be a long one, but I got the Warriors winning this series in 7 games. You know, maybe a close 7 games. I'm not saying every game is going to be highly contested. Every game is not going to be a close game, but I definitely don't think every game in this series is going to be a blowout either. TC, you think both series might go 7 games? Possibly. That's definitely possible. Especially if, you know, say both the Raptors and the Trailblazers can get a game on the road. That could definitely happen. About to swig on this watermelon brisk some more. Yep, so there's my prediction. It's going to be the Milwaukee Bucks and the Golden State Warriors going at it in the NBA Finals for the 2019 NBA Championship. Now, I will definitely be back here with another live stream as soon as the NBA Finals are set. Get my preview. I really want to have a roundtable with myself and a few other YouTubers. I'm about to work on that soon. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. As I mentioned earlier, the website is under construction. That'll be out soon. Yeah, we shall see, TC. You know, so the website is under construction. It'll be out soon. I'll definitely be back with a live stream as soon as the NBA Finals are set. I'm working on getting a round table together of myself and a few fellow YouTubers. We're going to break down who's going to walk away with the Larry O'Brien trophy. Yeah, the website's coming along. It's coming along. It's going to be hot. So till next time, y'all have a good one. Love y'all to life. QC out. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss any new videos from me and be mad. Let your family and friends miss those videos and let them be mad.